Hello friends, welcome back to my channel if you're returning. If this is the first video of mine that you're catching, welcome. My name is Rachel. I am an online reseller on sites like Poshmark, eBay, Mercari. I purchase inventory primarily for the purpose of selling it online for profit. And today I'm going to talk about how I run a 5 for $25 sale on Poshmark. So if you want to see what my strategy is, definitely stick around. So the last couple of weeks, I've put out some videos talking about, in my what solds and my ship with me's, having sold things in a 5 for $25 sale on Poshmark. And I had several of you guys comment and ask me, how do I run a 5 for $25 sale on Poshmark? So today I'm going to show you my strategy and how I set it up, how I reach my customers, and ultimately when I do it, why I do it, all of that. So I love doing these strategy videos for you guys. Hopefully me sharing helps you make some decisions on what to do with your own reseller business. So if you like videos like this, certainly consider subscribing to the channel. I've been really into doing these strategy type videos, so I definitely have more coming on the way. And let me know down below, have you ever run a sale like this on Poshmark? Have you been successful with it? My way is not necessarily the best way or the only way. This is just what I do that I have found works for me. So definitely let me know down below what ends up working for you, if it's kind of the same as what I do or if it's different. I would love to hear and just start that discussion down below on what everybody else does too. My biggest reason for doing a 5 for $25 sale on Poshmark, honestly, is to just clear out stale inventory. I run this business out of my home. This is my home office. I have all my inventory here in my home. And when I get up past like 1,000 active listings, it starts to become unmanageable. I start losing things. I start just finding that I don't have enough space to put things, and it makes me like anxious. And usually that happens about once a year when I've just accumulated a lot of stuff and I haven't done anything to liquidate the stuff that's not selling. That being said, I am more of a volume reseller. My closet, my inventory usually sits comfortably around 800 to 1,000 pieces. This time around when I ran it, I was up over 1,200 pieces of inventory, which is just way too much. And I only do this about once, maybe twice a year to move stuff out, make room for some new stuff, and just refresh my inventory in general. It allows me to kind of go through an audit and see what I do have left, and if there's anything that maybe isn't listed or, stuff like that happens, or if I have something that's listed that I don't have anymore, I can catch that stuff before it becomes a problem. With an inventory that big and just me working this by myself, it's bound to happen sometimes, which is why I don't usually like it to be so much at once. So beginning of August 2025 is when I actually ran my latest 5 for $25 sale, and I had tremendous success. I moved some 150 pieces out of here. Hopefully I gave some people a great deal, whether it's other resellers or just people looking to shop for themselves. And I made some money back on stuff that I would consider stale, or, since we're at the end of summer, things that I just didn't want to see sit around here all winter, just for them to maybe not even move next summer because they weren't getting much attention this time around anyway. So the first thing I do, first and foremost, before anything else, is I start aggressively dropping prices on things that I know I'm going to want to include in the sale. And this is usually about 2 to 3 weeks out from when I'm going to run the actual sale. So it's pretty casual. And for me, there's not any sort of like specific method to my madness. I don't keep track of exactly how old anything is or how long it's been sitting or what the original price was. I kind of go with my gut and go with my memory on things. And I know if you're somebody that's much more super calculated and detail oriented, that might drive you crazy, but just a reality, this is just what I do. So things that I know I'm going to want to include in the sale, I start to drop the price, and I will use usually the closet clear out days, and I'll drop the price by 10% every single closet clear out for 2 to 3 weeks. Some days, if I just have a few minutes to drop prices, it might not even be closet clear out day. And the reason behind this is, some of the stuff that I'm going to include in the sale right now before I do anything might be, $30, $40. And I would rather start dropping the price in hopes that maybe somebody buys it for a little bit more than if I were to just completely cut the price and, take it down to $5 right away. So I start dropping the prices on all this stuff, and I'm talking like hundreds and hundreds of items. And sometimes I will sell some things as I drop the prices, and other times, I'm just gradually letting that price go down so that I can get it comfortably low enough that I can put it in the sale and give it its fair shot of selling before that. So step 1, that's done. Step 2, pretty much I would say like maybe 3 or 4 days before my sale is going to go live, I'll go through everything that I've been dropping the price on, and I will lower it to $10. Everything gets dropped to $10. And I did this about a month ago now, but there are still plenty of things that are in my store that are $10, just things that did not sell during the time. And side note, a shameless plug, if you're watching this and you see something you want, go take advantage. Even though it's been a few weeks since I advertised the sale, if there's something you see, I will still honor the 5 for $25 if you see it and you want it. I go through and I drop everything down to $10 that I want to include in this sale. The reason for doing that is so that buyers can easily identify and understand what items are on sale and what items are not on sale. I've tried a couple different ways of doing this. I've seen some people do they'll put an emoji in the front of the title, and that indicates that the item is on sale. Or they will type 5 for $5 or 5 for $25 in the title, or just there's a couple different things that you can do. I have found that this is the easiest way to do it. Just put everything for $10. That way, because there's no way to search for an emoji in the search, but you can instruct your customers to filter by $10 or less, and they'll be able to see everything that's in the sale. It makes it super easy for them to find what's on sale and what's not. I would encourage you to put as much stuff as you can in this sale. And that's partly the reason why I only do this once or twice a year. I let it build up and build up and build up so that when people are shopping my sale, there's a lot for them to choose from. And I have a much higher chance of making a bundle if somebody finds 5 things that they like. So, and again, reason being, I want to drop everything to $10 and give it a couple days in case I do have somebody buy the item at $10. So buying the item at $10 is obviously better than buying the item at $5. And sometimes people will come look too. And if they only see one item they like, they might just buy it at 10 instead of trying to pick 5 items. So this is very much a staggered approach, and it does take a little bit of planning and just, I guess, upfront work before your sale actually goes live. So then on the day of the sale, when it's time to actually start the 5 for $25 sale, I use the My Shoppers feature on Poshmark to send a comment alerting all of my previous buyers that I'm having a sale. So I'm actually going to show you what that looks like in Poshmark so that you can see exactly where to go and how to navigate that. Here is my Poshmark, and I'm going to show you on the desktop. I do recommend that you use your desktop computer whenever possible because this process does take quite a while. So I'm on my desktop so that when I do start running this, for me it took like 3 or 4 hours to send the message to everybody. I can sort of just set it up and let it run. So you're going to go up here to your icon, your closet icon, and scroll down to My Shoppers. When you get to My Shoppers, you're going to look for the one that says Past Buyers. Once you get to Past Buyers, you're going to select the option to add comment to bundle. You can sort it if you want to. I don't really think it matters. So I just select all, and you have to keep scrolling down. Scroll and scroll. This is going to take you a little while to scroll through everybody. You're going to keep scrolling until you get through as many as you want. Maybe you want to only do like the last, I don't know, couple of months, or you can do whenever. It'll tell you like when was the last time they engaged with your closet. So if you only want to do like maybe people that have purchased from you this year, depending on how many past buyers you have, it's up to you. When I did this before, I had something like 4,000 past buyers. So you'll click add comment to bundle and it will pop up and allow you to type in whatever you want to type in. I'm not going to send anything to these people because I'm not running a sale right now, and I don't want to send too many of these out. I did do a video a few months ago, I think, on just things that can hurt you as a seller. And one of the things I said was using this My Shoppers tool too often. I personally, and it is a personal preference, I think, but as a buyer myself, sometimes my experience is that when somebody sends out too many notifications using the My Shoppers tool, it becomes annoying. And I usually will just block that person. And you really don't want people to start blocking you. And it might happen with just one message, but it's more likely to happen the more often they see your name pop up in their bundles when they didn't like ask you for anything. So I would recommend only doing this when you like really want to run a very lucrative sale, such as a 5 for $25 sale. And I only do this once, maybe twice a year. So use this sparingly, use it at your discretion, but just know that if you keep poking at people, they might just block you altogether. So I'll link that video down below too if you want to watch the whole thing, because that's a whole different story. But that's why I only do this when it's a really good sale, and I only do it once or twice a year. Here's an example of the bundle comment that I sent out. I said it's that time of year where I deeply discount hundreds of items in my closet to make room for new inventory. Now through August 1st. Okay, so I did run this at the end of July. Any items $10 or less or 5 for $25 up to 5 pounds. And I give instructions on how they can redeem it. You have to search 5 eligible items and I will send you an offer. So add 5 items, I'll send an offer, make sure it's under 5 pounds. Or no, I'm not going to send you 5 pair of shoes for $25. Basically, there are literally hundreds of items to choose from. Many are new with tag. Hurry, this stuff will go quick. Happy shopping. So I am giving specific instructions of when the sale is going to run. I'm giving specific instructions on what items are included in the sale. The limitation of 5 pounds, so no surprise. And then how they can redeem it. They add to their bundle. I will send the offer. Of course, if they send me the offer, I'm going to accept it. I also made sure to express a sense of urgency, and it's kind of subtle, but there are hundreds of items to choose from, so go check it out. You'll probably find something for you if I have that many items available. Many are new with tags. I put in there that many are new with tag. You're going to have to obviously write whatever is lucrative about your sale, what you're selling or what specific brands you have, anything that's going to draw the buyer in. Hurry, this stuff will go quick, which is not a lie. It did go quick, but I want to make that sense of urgency clear. I let the system drop that comment into all the bundles of people that have shopped with me in the past. So as soon as people start liking the items and adding the items to the bundle, I will either, and you do kind of have to like be in a good position. When you do this, you want to pick a day that you're in a good position to kind of watch your Poshmark pretty closely, because you're going to have a lot of people coming in and they're going to be, liking the same items. And it's very much first come, first serve. There's only one of everything. And so you really want to stay on top of people's offers and make sure that you're accepting offers as they come in or sending offers as they come in, so that, somebody that's shopping, if something sells, they can pick something else while they're still on the app or still looking in your closet. So I will, once the likes start coming in, if people start bundling themselves, I will either wait and allow them to make me a $25 offer, or if I see they're just liking a bunch of stuff, I will start putting them in a bundle if they've picked 5, and I will, send the $25 offer myself. Double check your bundles and make sure, especially if you're doing like shoes and stuff where multiple pair could put you over 5 pounds, because you will end up having to pay extra for that label. And then that's going to eat into your profit. If that happens, you've got one of two options. You can either A, message the buyer and say, hey, I need to charge you a little bit more to cover the heavier weight label. Or sometimes you can split it into 2 bundles and the customer is willing to maybe take 10 items and then they get 2 bundles at 5 pounds or less. I personally am much more likely to counteroffer with an explanation of, hey, I need to, I need to upgrade the shipping label and it's going to cost a little more. That seems to just be easier and less confusing for the buyers, I have found, than trying to split it. So that's usually my preferred go-to, but you could theoretically do it either way. So once I've sent out my offers or if I've accepted my offers, of course, I go into List Perfectly and delist the items right away so that they're not selling on other platforms as well. I don't typically do this price drop on other platforms at the same time that I'm doing my Poshmark 5 for $25 sale, just so that I don't like start double selling stuff, because, especially with eBay and stuff, that can get messy. Then I pretty much let it run its course for the set 24, 48 hours, whatever I said in the comment. It really tends to start dying down after like the first 24 hours, I would say. Everybody who's going to look at it has looked at it. Then what I will do is go through and bundle any likes of people that maybe they didn't like 5 things, but they liked 3 things. And I'll still send them a $15 offer on 3 things instead of a $25 offer on 5 things. I can usually make a few extra sales on, a 2 order or a 3 order, just to, again, move out some of that stuff that hadn't sold yet. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It is pretty simple. It does take a bit of time and, sort of advanced planning to really make it work. But I think it's a great way to clear out inventory, make space for new stuff. And right now with the season changing over, it's a great time to really clear out some inventory if you want to try it. So you'll definitely have to let me know down below if you've tried it. Again, if you have a different method, please let me know. I love hearing what works for everybody else too. Just because this is how I do it doesn't mean it's the best way or the only way. So definitely let me know what you do as well. And make sure you subscribe if you enjoy these kind of strategy videos. I've really been trying to put more of a focus on sharing my reseller strategy with you guys. So I'd love to see you again in the future video. Hit that like button on the way out if you could. That definitely helps out the channel. And that is it for today, friends. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you in the next one.